Previously on the Homefront.
Try and break that match. All right. Now you take 5 of them. You take 10 of them. You tie them together. You can't break them. That's a union.
Lockout is such a strong word, Gina. Such a loaded word. We prefer by far to simply call this a temporary shutdown.
Hi. I got laid off from WREQ because of the ad revenues were falling because of the plant closing, and so I convinced my mother to let me come visit you. And it's swell. Who's that woman?
Honey, he loves you so much he turned me down. And when you can find a guy that'll turn me down, you ought to keep him. I know a keeper when I see one.
You're all the time talking about this will of God idea and God's plan, and I'm willing to concede that you have a point. Because if it wasn't God's will, why the hell would I have been sent to River Run to organize the very factory where your children work? And why would I have fallen in love with you? And why would you be pregnant by me, huh? I'll always be faithful because I love you. And because that's what marriage means to me.
If only you could hit in the game the way you hit in practice, we'd be a couple of games up.
You know, if only your parole officer could find you, I wouldn't have to listen to your yammering. You playing under an assumed name?
Don't be so sensitive, Buckeye.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, hello, Miss Owen.
Hello, Jay.
What a sight for sore eyes you are.
Happily married man like yourself shouldn't have sore eyes, Jay. Hi, Jeff.
Hi. What's she doing here?
As if you didn't know, you heartbreaker.
You shouldn't have come here, Judy.
What?
You can't follow me around. I'm engaged.
I'm not following you. What made you think that?
Well, Jay said...
Only a rookie would believe a single word out of Jay's mouth. I work here.
Here?
Pick your jaw up off the floor, son. There is more to a ball team than ball players.
Well, I know that.
I'm Coach Zelnick's secretary.
I didn't know Coach needed a secretary.
He doesn't. His eyes are going. He doesn't want management to know he wants to finish up 2 more seasons before he retires. I can spot what he can't spot. I can scout as well as anyone. Besides which, I can keep his secret. And you better, too.
And you believed her?
You made me make a fool out of myself, Jay.
You're making a fool out of yourself if you buy into that bunch of malarkey. You mean to tell me that some dame is going to give up her home and her livelihood and travel 1,200 miles to be Coach Zelnick's secretary? You mean to tell me that there's absolutely no other jobs available between here and Clearwater? Buckeye, you are truly a rookie in the game of life.
You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark,
Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark.
what did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said you got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between.
We're starting to lose money.
Mike, if our accountants say that we've written off every penny we can legally write off, let's open the plant.
Without a contract?
These people are desperate for work. They'll take what we offer.
You're confident of that?
Where else will they find jobs?
They could still return and go down the contract.
I don't think the Haley boy or even Al Khan could persuade these people to voluntarily go without paychecks another day.
I know. They've been out of work a long time. Charlie Haley is very popular with the rank and file. Now that you mention it, so is Al Khan. They don't even seem to mind having a Jew tell them what to do. And if they can persuade the rank and file to strike, we are vulnerable.
You let the membership accept this contract, and we'll have a precedent set for hundreds of other factories. Then it'll be a lousy precedent.
I know that. What the hell are you talking to me like I'm some 5-year-old? You don't think I know their offer stinks? I am asking membership for strike authorization. I'm also asking you for a little support from the national office.
You've got our support.
I'm not talking about moral support. I'm talking about money.
The national treasury is stretched to the limit. If the press got a hold of how little money we actually have, they'd have a field day. Now, we haven't got the funds, and I'm tired of telling you.
Well, I'm tired of telling you that I cannot ask people who have gone without paychecks for almost 3 months to authorize a strike unless the union is going to help pay the rent if they walk.
Well, you're going to have to ask them, because the alternative is to accept the cheapest contract we've seen since before the war.
Look, I cannot win this without support from the national treasury.
Well, if you can't figure out a way to win it, Al, you better find another line of work. And I guarantee the National Board will support you on that.
Charlie, Al.
Hey, Al.
Listen, I talked to a member of the National Board, and I told him we couldn't get strike authorization without a strike fund.
What did he say?
He agreed it was essential.
They'll give us a strike fund?
I said...
We've got a strike fund.
He agreed it was essential.
They'll pay the rent?
They'll help out, won't they?
Help what?
With the rent.
That's what a strike fund is for.
That's what a strike fund's for.
Look, remember Charlie.
We're in the catbird seat now.
You only tap a strike fund in the event of a strike, which there will not be.
Yeah. Have you told Linda?
No.
I'll call her so she can start spreading the word. Talk to you later, Al. Congratulations.
Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Yes. Well, they came through with a strike fund. Yeah, so Charlie wants us to spread the word. If you call Mary, then she can call Denise. And her list has Royal and Dubinsky and Dick Littleton. Yeah.
Test me on this. Linda, I have to know if I've got this right before Jeff gets home.
It is good news. Okay, bye. Jeff, I have more important things to do than test you on your knowledge of baseball.
Linda, I have read that a wife that takes an interest in her husband's profession makes a marriage stronger. So if you want your brother happily married, not to mention me, I wish you would please listen for a second. I hope they threw you a lot of curveballs today in batting practice because the Tigers are starting Hal Newhouser, and that southpaw throws a mean breaker.
Your marriage will last forever.
That's the idea. Hi, Honey, what's new?
Nothing. Why?
Nothing? You hungry?
Yeah.
Well, I'll see what's in the fridge.
I'll get it.
Hi. Hello, could I speak with Mr. Jonathan Richardson, please? Oh, my name is Linda Metcalf. I'm reporting secretary of the
I hope they threw you a lot of curveballs today in batting practice because the Tigers are starting Hal Newhouser, and that southpaw has a mean breaker.
Yes, he does.
When he's chucking, that old apple drops like it's fallen off a tree.
How did you know that?
Well, I try to keep up. I'm looking forward to the next game.
Well, you want to come?
Of course.
Well, you shouldn't.
Why in heaven's name not?
I'm not sure I'm not playing.
You're not sure you're playing, or you're not playing?
I'm not playing.
Oh, no.
Well, Coach said that I'm not ready.
I'll come anyway and pick up a few pointers. Unless you don't want me to.
No, I don't want you wasting your time and money. You can come if you want to, of course. I gotta take these upstairs.
Well, no, it's okay.
No, it's okay if you do.
No, it's okay.
Was he impressed?
I can't tell. But he's embarrassed because he's not getting to play again.
Oh, I shouldn't have lied. I shouldn't have lied. Oh, I shouldn't have lied. You shouldn't have lied, stupid.
I can't lose this one, Ann.
Calm down, Al. I'll get you a cup of coffee. Do you take every contract negotiation so personally?
I take life personally. There's a lot on the line here. Why? You having second thoughts about marrying someone who takes everything so personally?
Heavens, no.
It doesn't bother you that as a business agent for a local, I'll never be a $10,000 a year man?
Poor as a church mouse.
With no job security.
And let's not forget you're to blame for everything wrong with this city.
Yeah, you heard.
Hurry up with that. Our pre-K class starts in 20 minutes.
I can't make it. I got 100 phone calls to make.
You're having second thoughts. Is that why you were asking me if I was?
I'm not. I am delighted to listen to Father Dreyer. In fact, sometimes I even enjoy it, perversely. But tonight, with everything going on, I won't hear a word he says.
I'm gonna tell him about the baby tonight. I have to sooner or later, and I would rather you were with me.
Ann, he didn't care that I was Jewish. He didn't care that I'm divorced. Why would it matter that you're pregnant?
All those things matter.
Not enough to keep him from letting you marry me. Your church doesn't care what I believe.
It cares what the baby believes.
I don't like the sound of that.
One of the rules for a mixed marriage is that the non-Catholic partner agrees to raise the child Catholic.
But it's my child. Or it's half my child. Why would I agree to that?
It's the rule.
That's no reason. It's just like the Sloan's approach. Here's a one-sided contract. Take it or leave it. If this were a contract, I would tell management where to put it.
Well, as a matter of fact, it is kind of a contract.
They want me to sign something?
Yes.
I'm up against management everywhere I go.
If we were being married by a rabbi, I would have to convert so the baby would be raised Jewish. It's no different in your religion.
The difference is that the rabbis are at least honest about their intentions. The Sloans could take a lesson from your priest. I'll have to bring in a lawyer to read the fine print. We won't try to convert you, but we'll bargain away the next generation.
That is a cruel way to put it.
It's humiliating. And you shouldn't ask me to do it.
Well, that is the way it has always been done in the church.
I'm not marrying the church.
Well, I'm part of it.
Well, then let's get married by a judge or a JP or whatever.
I can't do that.
Well, I can't sign that paper. And you shouldn't ask me to.
What's it like when people ask you for your autograph?
It's kind of embarrassing, actually.
Oh, I thought you'd get used to it.
Yeah, well, you're doing us all proud, Slugger.
Thanks.
None of you has ever done anything I haven't been proud of.
Well, what about the time Linda stole Dad's gin and she and Ginger got sick off of it?
I mean it. I'm sorry for having embarrassed you.
The last thing I ever wanted to do was to bring any kind of disgrace to this family.
Who cares what other people think?
That's what you always taught us.
Alan, I've decided not to get married.
Why not?
Why?
Because I'll be staying with friends in Illinois. You remember Lane Mazik in Champaign I've always told you about? I'll be staying with her until the time comes. When people ask where I've gone, you can tell them that I've gone to take care of someone who got herself in trouble. And that will be the truth. Just as soon none of you told Al where I was staying. I'm taking this. I won't miss a single game, honey.
Are you giving up the baby?
No. I'll say the baby is adopted. I want to raise this baby myself. And if he grows up to be like all of you, I will be very proud.
I don't see why you have to go.
Staying would be unfair to the baby, who doesn't deserve to go through life having people call him names, condemning him for what I did.
Would it hurt you to say something nice to Mom?
Metcalf residence. May I speak with Ann, please?
No.
Who was it?
Wrong number.
And here's the pitch. Strike one. Just catches the outside corner. Okay, Evers takes a few practice swings. Feller goes into the stretch and looks over to third. Wakefield has a two-step lead. And here's the pitch. And it's a shot to right. Metcalf is there and in position, but Wakefield is sure to tag and test the young rookie's arm. Metcalf's got it, and Wakefield takes off. Metcalf throws, and it's right on the money. It's going to be close. Higgins has the ball. Wakefield slides, and he's out. Metcalf nails Wakefield at the plate. So after 8.5 innings of play, we are still all tied up at 4 apiece with Metcalf, Meyer, and Keltner due to start off the bottom of the ninth. More action after this word.
Hey, friend, does your razor have cheek appeal? Or do you feel like you have to shave twice to get a close
Metcalf steps out of the batter's box and gets the sign from Zelnick. Metcalf steps back in and settles.
WREQ, Voice of Greater River Run.
Oh, and Metcalf hits a screamer into the gap in right center. That's going for extra bases. Metcalf rounds first as Evers takes down the ball.
What's the matter, son? You went 3 for 3. Drove in 3 RBIs, won the game. You look like someone ran over your dog.
Do you remember Ginger, my fiancée?
Lovely woman.
Yeah. You remember Judy Owen, of course.
Hard woman to forget, especially now she's my secretary.
Yeah. Well, Ginger doesn't know Judy works here. So I told Ginger she shouldn't come to the game because I wasn't going to be playing. But the real reason I told her she shouldn't come was because I didn't want her to run into Judy. And now Lou tells me that I'm starting tomorrow, which is great. Only what am I going to tell Ginger?
Whatever you do, don't lie.
Oh, Coach, she finds out.
Lying's hard work. You gotta keep track of what you said. Half the time you can't remember because you gotta tell another lie to cover the last one you told. I knew a fella, first baseman by the name of Joe Steiner. Was a teammate of mine when I was playing second base for Pittsburgh. It's before I was engaged. At the time, I was sparking one of the club's secretaries, who I am embarrassed to admit was married to one of the coaches. Well, naturally, we couldn't tell anybody where we were when we were together, so we lied. It got to be so where I couldn't keep track of what I was supposed to be doing. So if I couldn't think of anything, I'd remember what Joe said he'd do, and I'd use that. Well, to make a long story short, Coach got wind of what his wife was up to. Only because of all the lies I told. He thought it was Joe Steiner who was doing the diddling. And he went after poor Joe Steiner with a shovel. Killed him. He ended up doing life.
Good Lord.
Oh, it was a terrible blow to a team to lose a talented coach and a promising first baseman.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So never lie.
Hey, Coach, can I run by you what I have to tell my fiancée? Just tell me if it flies.
Shoot.
Ginger, remember that woman from Florida, the tall barmaid that you found in my bedroom in the middle of the night? But she's here now. No. She's here now. She's here now. She's here now.
Son. Did you ever hear of a mental reservation?
Can I tell the membership the money will be here pronto if we walk?
They should assume that.
Well, they're going to want to know the exact amount and how often it's paid out.
You can tell them that the usual procedure is weekly and the exact amount has yet to be determined.
They're going to want to know how much and for how long.
And you can tell them that if the vote to authorize a strike is big enough, they won't have to worry about either, because they'll be taking home paychecks instead of strike benefits because there won't be a strike.
What's with him?
Yeah, he's got a burr under his saddle.
I wish you'd have let me come to the stadium.
Well, another time.
Next home game?
Let me ask Coach if I'm starting next game.
Oh, what does he know? He told you he wouldn't be starting this game. Anyways, he'll have to start anyone with 3 RBIs in one game.
I never thought I'd hear those letters come out of your mouth in that order.
Well, I've been studying up. I've been listening to the Pirates and the Reds and the Tigers games.
Oh, I'll say one thing about radio. It's just like being there. In some ways better. You can do your nails, read a magazine.
You know, if I didn't know it any better, I'd think you were trying to keep me away from the stadium on a permanent basis.
Are you kidding? Well, I would love for you to see every game in person. Huh.
Next home game?
Well, it's hard for me to put this in words exactly that you might understand.
Pop, fly, line, drive, pinch, hit. What don't I understand?
I had a long talk with Coach today. And I've decided to level with you.
You should level with your fiancé, whether your coach says to or not.
I don't know. I know what Coach thinks. I've got a streak starting. I shouldn't do anything to jinx it.
I'm bad luck?
Not you in particular. It's a known fact that when a player has good luck, like I had today, well, that player should do everything exactly the same way he did the last time, so as not to jinx himself. You listening on the radio probably brought me good luck.
Are you going to make sure that all the thousands of fans will be in the same seats so your luck will hold?
I don't know them personally. It makes a difference.
Oh, this is silly. You know this is silly. If people were to read about this in the sports page, they'd say this is silly. If you truly believe I will spoil your luck, I'll stay away.
I love you. You probably brought me good luck listening on the radio. It's stupid. It's stupid, stupid. You tell one lie, you gotta cover it up with another lie, stupid. It's just stupid. And line only makes things worse.
Charlie,
Yeah?
I'm pregnant.
What?
I'm going to have a baby.
Oh, Caroline. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Yes, silly.
Well, you should sit down. Sit down.
I'm fine. And don't mention it to anyone till I'm further along. It's bad luck. Mom's the word. Get it? Mom. I'm sorry this isn't a good time to have a baby.
What are you talking about? Any time is a good time to have a baby.
There'll be all those doctor's bills.
I'm not going to worry about that now.
But how can we afford to walk a picket line when there's another mouth to feed?
Just before I hit that home run, I thought of you, honey. You appeared out of nowhere like a vision.
Are you serious?
And you whispered to me, fastball.
This gives me the chills.
Somehow I even feel closer to you when you're at home listening on the radio than when you're here in the stands. I'll see you tonight, sweetie.
It amazes me what women will believe.
I can't keep this up.
Well, as much as I enjoy listening to your Paul Bunyan tales, I feel honor-bound to inform you you're off the hook.
You have no honor, Jay.
If I didn't have any honor, I'd let you go on stewing in your own juice for a month of Sundays. Judy quit.
Why?
Don't know. She packed her bags and she left. Miss Owen is no longer associated with the Cleveland Indians Ball Club.
I told you she didn't come here because of me. Yeah.
On the question of whether or not to authorize a strike. Not to strike, but to authorize a strike if the negotiating committee sees fit. Well, the floor is open to discussion. The chair recognizes himself first. Not many months ago, I didn't even know what a union was. Not really, except for what I read in the papers. If somebody striking this company or that company is all I knew. And what I've learned since then is that without this group of people right here in this room, without my union looking out for me, there was nobody else looking out for me except me. And that's not good enough. So I'll stick with my union as long as I'm a wage slave and as long as my union has my best interests at heart. But ladies and gentlemen, right now, a strike is not in my best interest. What? I'm not the only one who needs a paycheck. And I need one now more than ever. And I also know that this contract is not forever. And the next one will be better, and the one after that will be even better. Voting down strike authorization right now is not the end of the war.
Charlie, what are you saying?
The chair recognizes Linda Metcalf before she kills someone.
All we need to do is stand together on this, and there won't be a strike. If we have to swallow that contract, the Sloans' whole approach to negotiating, which amounts to starving us out, will be held up as a model to other companies and other locals. And we'll be sending the message that lying is the only way to negotiate. And lying is what the Sloans did when they refused to bargain in good faith, when they hired non-union workers during the lockout and then denied it. And lying is what they do when they falsify the profits and they won't open the books. We shouldn't let them beat us at the bargaining table by lying. We have got to vote to authorize this strike.
Right. Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to call a vote?
How much are the strike benefits? I've got to know. How am I going to feed my kids?
Give them the dollars and cents, huh?
Well, $0.00.
What?
No dollars and no cents. I got my wires crossed at the head office.
I have money. I see no point in further discussion. Will someone call a question?
Move the previous question. Second.
Those in favor of calling a vote? Those opposed? Those in favor of authorizing the negotiating committee to call a strike? Those opposed? The motion is defeated. The chair hears a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion is seconded. There being no opposition, this meeting is adjourned.
The union is your friend, right?
What a sellout.
What do you think Patty'd say? No. How do they expect us to live, huh?
Yeah, what are we gonna do? Eat dog food?
Forget it.
I can't believe I ever thought baseball was boring. I've been on pins and needles whenever I listen to a game.
I've been thinking maybe I've been too superstitious. I might play even better with you in the stands.
Oh, you think so?
It's possible. All I ever imagine is you anyway.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I was beginning to think that all ball players were too worried about this good luck business. On the other hand, I can't let you go anywhere without me anymore.
Why is that?
Well, because that that woman from Florida is right here in River Run.
When did you find out?
Before the meeting.
Why didn't you tell us?
It was a judgment call. Bad judgment. I figured a vote would bring the Sloanes to the table and nobody'd ever be any the wiser, and I made a mistake.
I'll say.
I don't see much difference between what I did and the mental reservation or whatever the hell rationalization it is you Catholics use.
There's a big difference between withholding information which may be nobody's business and lying outright about something as important to workers as their income. But whether or not I can explain the difference to you, Al, is beside the point, because if you don't see a difference, then I guess for you there is no difference, so why try and justify what you did? No wonder my mother won't marry you.
What?
On the house. How's my favorite Buckeye?
Judy, you remember Ginger, my
Sabo.
fiance?
Oh, of course I do. My second favorite Buckeye.
What a pleasant surprise to see you here.
Didn't Jeff tell you I was in town?
Did it slip your mind, or did it slip my mind?
I meant to, but I didn't know that you were in town. Not this town, anyway. What are you doing here?
Oh, it's a long story you don't want to hear.
Oh, yes, we do.
The bar in Florida burnt down. I had no money and no place to live. I don't have a family. Lost my folks when I was just a kid. Coach Zelnick offered me a job as his secretary, but that didn't work out. His wife thought I was a little too blonde for the job. So there I was, out of work, with not as much as 2 nickels to rub together. And I got to thinking about the only skill besides loving baseball that I had to offer, and so I decided to hoof it looking for a job as a barmaid again. You got to be careful when you're a woman pouring drinks not to get into a place that's rough and tumble. And then I remembered you, Jeff, talking about your old job, and so I set sail for River Run. Luckily, the position was still open, and the rest is history. I got a little room a few blocks over, but a little room's all I'll need, because the fire burned everything except the clothes on my back. What's new with you two?
We're fine.
Yep.
Oh, good. Good.
Judy, Jeff and I would like you to join us for dinner some night. We could introduce you to some of our friends, make some new acquaintances. I know how hard it must be to be new in town.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. I'd love it.
Good.
Mr. Con.
Hey, Slugger. Great game. Hi, Ginger.
Hi.
Your mom's out late.
Out late? She's gone.
Going where?
Well, I promised not to tell you.
Why?
Well, once you decided not to get married, she had to go.
Well, who decided not to get married?
She said you did.
Because I wouldn't sign that damn paper?
What paper?
The paper that your church makes all us non-Catholics
But
sign.
anyway, she's gone.
Where is she?
Jeff.
Ginger, it so happens that I was writing Mom a letter and it's in there on the table. I wondered if you might get it for me, please. Ginger doesn't know Mom's pregnant. You say so, I'll break your jaw. It just so happens Mom raised us Catholic. We might not be perfect, but we're also not out robbing banks. What's the big deal?
Thank you for the information you never gave me.
That was sweet of you. You can tell they're in love by the way they fight.
I guess.
Did you know Judy was working for the Indians?
Somebody said something about it.
Is that why you didn't want me coming to any of your games?
Why? Well, I was afraid you'd get upset if you saw her. You were so nice. I can't believe I stayed up nights worrying about it. I mean, you've been a peach about the whole thing.
What'd you expect me to do? Scratch your eyeballs out?
Oh,
I lost Charlie. I lost the screen test. I lost my white leather purse my aunt gave me for my first communion. $2 in it. I don't want to lose you. That means being sweet to Judy Owen, I can do it. Besides, I don't know how else to compete with a woman like that. She's so smart and experienced and pretty and tall and experienced. My only shot was to try to be nicer than she is. Even that's hard.
You're smarter and prettier than she is by far, and this isn't a contest.
It isn't.
If it were, you'd win hands down. Anyways, you're a better kisser than she is.
What?
That was a compliment.
Think about it.
The coach says I shouldn't think too much. That's lunch?
That's all there is, love. After payday, we'll eat like kings. Here. I'm not much for lunch anyway. You take mine.
No, you take mine. You're eating for two now.
Morning. Morning. Morning, Haley.
problem. We made a mistake coming back. What? We made a mistake coming back to work.
You don't want to work here, you're welcome to go home. But leave the other men alone. Back to work.
I don't think so, Sam.
You're fired, Haley.
Maybe so, maybe no, but not till I say what I have to say. Fellas! We made a big mistake! I voted against the strike like the rest of you did for the same reasons the rest of you did. Because we were worried about our families. And I knew it would be hard to come back here today with our tails between our legs, but I figured we could keep our minds on that paycheck. Right. And that paycheck is for my kid and for my kid's future. And then it occurred to me that I had it backwards somehow. That these fat cat bosses can treat me that way, but they can't treat my kids that way, or your kids that way. Right. But that's what's going to happen if we don't stand up to them. Right. If someone doesn't stand up to them. We could never make up what we could lose in a strike, but we'll never make up what we lost during the lockout. That's right. That's right. Either. Yeah. We've been taking it on the chin too long to not get something out of this for ourselves. Right. That's right. We've got nothing to show for a lockout except a pile of bills. Yeah. And if we don't do something about it, it won't get better. Right. For the next batch of wage slaves that show up here, and one of them's likely to be my kid. And some of them will be your kids. And what I put up with is not good enough for my kids. Is it good enough for your kids? No! Is it good enough for your kids? No! Well, when we were outside, we voted down strike approval because we were afraid of losing our jobs. Right. We were afraid they were going to hire scabs. But we're on the inside now. Yeah! And if we sit down, there's nobody can take our jobs away. Not scabs, not security guards, not German POWs. Nobody. Nobody. Sit down. And, hey, we can make sure the Sloans don't earn 1 penny of profit. Not 1 penny until they start treating us with respect. I'm sitting down for my kids.